Hello, my name is Michael Bergin, and I serve as the Chief Financial and Operating Officer here at Miss Porter's School. I'm here with my colleague, Katie Bradley.
Hi, I'm Katie Bradley, and I am the Director of Campus Planning and Design at Miss Porter's School.
We want to be among the many folks to welcome you to your virtual reunion. We're very sorry that you can't join us here in Farmington, so we thought what we would do is take you on a virtual tour, a walk around campus, to give you some of the highlights of the projects that we've done over the past several years. So working together with the Board of Trustees, informed by the Alumni Board, we have engaged in a campus master planning process on 2 occasions in the last decade. We are working currently on a master plan that was approved by the board in the spring of 2019. That plan will bring forward some really exciting projects which we're looking forward to telling you about. But we want to start today on the far south portion of our campus at Kiki's Field. Many of you participated in athletics and other activities on Kiki's Field. Some of you may have been at Miss Porter's when Kiki's Field was a working farm, and Cow Barn Field next to it across Maple was also a working farm. So over the years, those fields have been converted into athletic fields, and in 2015, we embarked on an ambitious project to remake those fields for our campus athletes. So in our campus plan that was approved in 2012, one of the key aspects of that plan was to improve our athletic facilities. Our fields had gotten to a place where we had, on occasion, teams would show up to play Miss Porter's School, and because of pooling of water and pockmarks on the field, they didn't feel it was a safe place to compete. So improving the fields was a big priority for us. So we invested millions of dollars in Kiki's Field to create the finest turf field in the Founders League for our soccer and lacrosse players. Those fields have helped our teams grow and win championships. Not only have they been a wonderful space for our girls to compete and to learn, but they're also a great space to spend a Saturday afternoon kicking a ball, throwing a frisbee, being together.
So working with the town committees, Farmington Historic District, our neighbors, we wanted to make sure that not only would we have the most amazing fields for our athletes, we also wanted to make sure that our fields were incorporated in this beautiful historic village, and when we were done, they looked like they had always been there. So we focused on beautiful architectural features from our historic campus, such as brownstone walls and wrought iron fences, and we enhanced the landscaping. We built a little bathhouse that has shakes that match very many of our buildings on campus. So at the end of the day, if you haven't seen them, I think when you finally do get to see them, you'll really admire the effort that we put in.
It was really important to Miss Porter's School that our fields fit into the historic character of the village. So what we have now is wonderful athletic fields that look beautiful in the village. They look like they've always been there. And one of my favorite memories was last fall when our varsity soccer team beat Hotchkiss in the New England semifinals to go on to the championship game. We had hundreds of students, hundreds of parents and spectators. Our girls played valiantly. They won the game, they went on to the championship, and it created an enormous amount of school spirit. Katie also mentioned Oakley Field, which is up Mountain Road across from the entrance to the Hillstead. That is where our field hockey and our ultimate frisbee teams compete. And that field is truly magnificent. It has special turf for field hockey and fits beautifully in to the upper part of the Farmington Village right across from the Hillstead Museum, which of course was founded by Theodate Pope Riddle, one of our great ancients. Another wonderful addition to our campus has been the acquisition of the Grist Mill, which sits down on the Farmington River. This space has held many different uses over the years, and it was acquired after a very generous gift from Jeannie McBride Green. She gave school $1 million, and we used those funds to purchase the grist mill. We subsequently went on to renovate the grist mill in 2016.
So I was very fortunate to be able to work on this project, and we had to strip the building down really to the bones. We replaced all the windows, reinforced a lot of the beams and the structures. We had to update the electrical, add all new HVAC, and then the fun part began. We got to redecorate, and the equipment that was on the second floor, the working equipment, is still up there, and originally it just went from the roof of the building down into the river. So when we pulled all the carpet out, there was just plywood on the floor. So we were able to find these beautiful planks from an old barn in New England, and we installed these on the first and second floors. We converted the building into our admissions building. So there are lobbies and meeting spaces. There's a classroom space upstairs. There are 7 beautiful offices for new families, interested families to come and interview in. It's beautiful. And I don't know if you can hear because we have the window shut, but as you're sitting here in this room, you can hear the Farmington River drop over the waterfall that's right outside. It's a beautiful building to be in.
It is really a warm and welcoming space flooded with natural light. It was really important to Jeannie Green that every girl begin her Miss Porter School experience in the Grist Mill in this special space. And since we renovated it in 2016, we've had over 1,000 girls and their families do just that. They've come from far and wide and all over the world. They're warmly welcomed here, and it gives them a great appreciation for Miss Porter's as a historic campus and one that is on the cutting edge of education. So if we move from the Grist Mill further down Garden Street, we come to our squash and pool building, which was constructed in 2007 and is home to our New England champion swim team. But what we've done in the squash and pool building of note is we've added a significant solar array. One of the challenges of having a historic campus is energy efficiency, and we've worked really hard over the last decade to reduce our energy consumption and use more renewable energy sources. So the solar array on the roof of the squash and pool building generates 115,000 kilowatts per year, which produces about 17% of the electricity that we need to power the squash and pool building.
And over the past decade, we have upgraded and replaced over 29 boilers in buildings all across campus. That work has allowed us to connect to natural gas and stop oil consumption. We have reduced our oil consumption in the last 10 years by 100,000 gallons. Is that right?
100,000 gallons per year.
100,000 gallons per year. We have added new energy efficient windows to over 40 of our campus buildings.
So if we move up Mill Lane from the Grist Mill and the squash and pool building, we come to Jig's at 2 Mill Lane, which many of you would know as a general store where you could get an ice cream cake for your birthday or a snack. Miss Porter School acquired Jig's in 2015, mostly because of its historic significance to our school, to our town, and to the world. Sarah Porter first taught her classes in rented space on the second floor of Jig's when it sat on Main Street and was a general store and a post office for the town. Jig's has been the home of the Underground Railroad as it came through Farmington with the strong abolitionist bent of the First Congregationalist Church. And it was also the home to the Amistad slaves when they were being tried in New Haven. So the building has rich historic significance to school. We're currently in a planning process to determine the optimal use for the space.
So moving from Jig's to the main part of campus, we felt a need to make it really accessible and easy access for our students, and we want down the road for Jig's to feel like it is part of our campus, and right now it's somewhat of an outlier. We had the opportunity this summer to build beautiful new granite steps and a path that is ADA accessible from the main campus to the houses on Mill Lane and Jig's. And in the process of doing this work, we were able to plant 28 trees and over 100 shrubs and perennials. We worked with a woman-owned landscaping company and came up with just a beautiful landscape design that our in-house crew was able to actually plant themselves, and it's beautiful. And
the space has really been meaningful in this most unusual fall. The girls are out all over Brooksfield on Adirondack chairs. They're using the Brooksfield pathway for running and for other fitness activities. So opening up the south edge with the landscaping is a beautiful way to expand the impact of our campus. We don't have a traditional quad, but it really helps frame Brooksfield, Ford Library, Olin, and Hamilton, and sort of the rest of the core campus. So as we move from Brooksfield north on campus, you can picture girls spread out all over the grassy areas on Adirondack chairs, working together, socially distanced on their classwork. And we're going to stop over at the Colgate Wellness Center, which is at the corner of Main Street and Porter Road. This building has had many uses over the years and has most recently been an 8-bed infirmary. We had a plan to renovate this building in 2021, but given the nature of the pandemic, We advanced those plans and we did a full-scale renovation of the Colgate Wellness Center this summer.
So as Michael mentioned, with the girls going home for a March break, but not returning, it opened up an opportunity for us to start the process of this renovation right away so that we could make sure that the renovations included many, many COVID enhancements, such as touchless door openers, touchless faucets, automatic flushing toilets. We were able to add central air, and we did it in a way that the sick rooms are completely isolated. We can contain anything that's going on with that student in that room. We have a separation of sick and well areas. We also were able to knock down a lot of walls and install glass. You walk in and it just has this amazing new bright, lots of natural sunlight. It feels much more professional, and at the same time our focus was on keeping it feeling homey and welcoming for the students.
We're excited about all the COVID enhancements we're able to make in the space. They've served us really well in the beginning of this school year, and they will serve us well for years to come. One of the most exciting things about the Colgate Wellness Center space are the people who run it. We have many ancients who work in this space, including Georgia Berman, who's our director of the health center, Dr. Lauren Melman, who's our medical director. Amanda Keiss is the director of our counseling center, and we've recently added Evadne Koshe as another counselor in the Colgate Wellness Center. So in this building now, we have beautiful space for counseling on the second floor, and as Katie just described, wonderful, open, full of natural light space downstairs to deliver clinical care for our girls. As you come out of the rear of the Colgate Wellness Center, you'll notice a brand new entrance to campus. What had been a one-way driveway with some parking spaces around it is now a beautiful loop that allows us to bring emergency vehicles on and off campus safely and efficiently. It is a great place for day students to be dropped off, as well as for those students who are coming to use our athletic complex and theater complex.
So this beautiful new loop that we're now calling the Porter Road Loop, in the process of reorganizing the traffic and adding additional parking, we were also able to re-landscape around the Colgate Wellness Center, the northern side of the dance barn, and around this entire new driveway. We have now opened up this area so that from Porter Road, and as you enter, you will also see the beautiful new addition that is happening right now at the dance barn. It's going to have storage, a beautiful dressing room for the dancers, and 2 ADA compliant bathrooms, but also now a beautiful new entrance to the dance barn to welcome parents and guests and visitors for performances that will happen in that space.
One other item to note, as you come through the new Porter Road Loop and walk up past the Gaines Dance Barn, we've installed new Amazon lockers. Those will allow our girls to receive deliveries 7 days a week. So if there's something that they've ordered that they're really excited about or that they need, they can pick that up after hours, or they can pick it up over the weekend when the mailroom is closed. You know, our goal in all of our facilities renovation and all of our work through the campus master plan is to create a safer, more efficient space for the girls while honoring the historic nature of Miss Porter's school. So in the spring of 2019, we found ourselves with a surge of boarding enrollment, which was a great problem to have. We needed to find additional beds on campus for that fall, and we looked at 36 Main Street. So working with Alumni and Development, we approached John McCumber to ask for his support to renovate this building, which we were able to do in the course of several months and be ready for August of 2019 to welcome new students. We now have a beautiful McCumber dorm that sits on the corner of Porter Road and Main Street, and Katie's going to tell you a little bit about why it's so special.
We were able to create a 14-bed dorm. Many of the rooms share a bathroom in the middle, so it's a little more private. It feels very homey. There's a beautiful house director's apartment on the first floor and a common room. They have, just like all of our other dorms, a little kitchenette and washer and dryer. Beautiful porch on the back, and with the coronavirus and our focus on keeping the girls outside as much as possible, it's just been a beautiful yard and home for this group of 14 girls to hang out in the Adirondack chairs and sit on the back porch, play games, have campfires in the evening. It's beautiful.
And one of the hallmarks of our campus master planning process is adaptive reuse. So as Katie's described at McCumber, in the Colgate Wellness Center, and in many, many other projects on campus, we've taken a building that was used for one purpose and adapted that purpose to meet the current needs, all with an eye towards energy efficiency and what's best for the girls. So if you follow Ms. Porter's school on social media, you will have seen an incredible collection of images over the past few months of the renovation of Maine. Sarah Porter bought the Union Hotel in 1866 for $8,000, and since then Maine has served as the heart and soul of our campus. We've noticed over the past several years that Maine was in need of a renovation. We looked at other options around campus for campus dining and ultimately came back to the centrality of Maine and the importance of this special space. So working with a very talented team of architects and designers, we are well on our way to completing a significant renovation to our main dining room that will be ready for the girls in spring of 2021.
The problem that we needed to solve was to update this servery and the kitchen and the dining hall, not just update them aesthetically, but we needed to enlarge the dining hall. It was just time. It was time to bring some life back to this space. We've been working with some architects for over the last 3 years, and they've come up with a beautiful design. The western exposure, we will be bumping the building out 35 feet and 15 feet wider towards Ward Dorm. The architects honored the historic look of the hotel with this addition off the back. So it has the similar columns as the front of the building in the back, but we've actually modernized it. And it has floor-to-ceiling windows in that western exposure that is going to just be an amazing view. We'll be able to fit all 400 people on our campus in this space at one time, and we have plans to also put some soft seating in there so that it feels cozy and a great place for the students to hang out. Thinking about how we're going to enhance our dining and our servery, which was really the need, we are also taking this opportunity to freshen up the front of the building. So picture yourself walking up to the steps of 60 Main. We will be adding a very beautiful brownstone access for wheelchairs. It will be landscaped in a way that it really won't change the look of front of Maine at all. Working with the architects and some ancients in the Buildings and Grounds Committee, everybody was in agreement. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we opened that front door and could look straight through to this beautiful new series of windows in the western exposure? So in order to do that, we are keeping the stairs and the banister that are original to the hotel. We're keeping the banister. We're moving the stairs over, which will also make that entrance grander. To the right, the parlors will still be there. We will just be light touch renovation on the parlors. To the left as you enter, which has always been reception, it will now become the home of our campus safety. Still feel very much the same, but it will be a little more modernized with more glass and more light. And then around the corner, we will be enhancing the assistant to the head's office and the head of school's office with light touch, new sanded floors and paint and some new light fixtures just to brighten and freshen up the space. But we're leaving the integrity of the hotel and the original building intact. It will really be the dining facility. And one of the questions that everybody asks, especially ancients, is are we keeping the student mailboxes that have always been in Maine? And the answer is yes. They will be relocated to a beautiful new lobby on the ground floor. One of the other problems to be solved with the kitchen, servery, and dining hall was the way that the line moved through the servery, and it kind of intersected where the dish drop-off was. So fortunately, we have worked all of that out. We have the ability now to open up the servery so that when you're sitting in the dining, you can see this beautiful new space, and behind the counter that you're going to go and get your food at, you can see our wonderful kitchen staff cooking, so that there's still an intimate feel similar to what we've had before, but much more efficient in the way that people will be able to move around. We will also have an elevator that will bring people from the lower level up to the dining hall and vice versa.
So one of the key considerations and goals of the campus master plan was safety and circulation. And for years, we've had Sarah Lane running through the center of our campus, which has been a drop-off point for girls. It's been a place for dining deliveries and UPS trucks and FedEx trucks and everything under the sun to come onto campus. And it creates a challenge when you have students moving about the campus, thinking about things that they're thinking about drivers on deadline trying to get through. So in this new campus master plan, we're excited to finally renovate Sarah Lane and make it into a primarily pedestrian thoroughfare, so that from Porter Road to Mill Lane, from Garden Street to Main Street, our campus will largely be vehicle-free. So we have beautiful plans for the summer of '21 as we wrap up the main dining renovation to reimagine and re-landscape Sarah Lane, creating a pedestrian walkway that's accessible to emergency vehicles, but allows the girls to have easy access through campus. We'll also convert Cottage, which has had many different purposes on campus, most recently as an 8-bed dorm. That cottage will be converted to our day student space, which will give the day students a place to hang out, a place to store their things. But we're also very confident that with the main renovation and our hope to make the KLG into a student center, that there'll be lots of other areas for day students to hang out and be together, create community. We are fortunate at Miss Porter's school that our day students and our boarders spend a lot of time together in these common spaces, but we're excited to have dedicated space for the day students right off of the new drop-off loop that we are going to create coming in off of Garden Street. The opportunity to renovate Sarah Lane into a primarily pedestrian thoroughfare is something we've been looking to do for many years, and we're excited that we'll be able to accomplish this in the summer of 2021.
In our facilities department, we have a commitment to keeping our residential dorms safe and in excellent working order. We are constantly trying to upgrade the appearance of the rooms, and over the past 3 years we have been focused on enhancing our dorms and upgrading. We have added central air to 3 of our dorms on the western side of the street, and we will continue in the future to work on the dorms on the eastern side of the street to enhance the HVAC, to renovate the rooms, and to keep them cozy and welcoming for our students, but make them feel fresh and new.
Katie and I have enjoyed taking you on this virtual walk around campus. It is our privilege to do this work each and every day with a focus on what is best for the girls. We look forward to welcoming you to Farmington when it is safe to do so and showing you these spaces in person. Stay safe and stay healthy.